15 months ago, this was what India's missiles left behind. A key Jaish-e-Mohammed complex in Pakistan's Bahawalpur, hit during Operation Sindoor. Broken domes, collapsed structures, craters inside the main hall. And today, look at it. Fresh plaster, new paint, rebuilt domes, polished marble. The Jaish-e-Mohammed headquarters comes back from the dead. Why was this terror hub rebuilt at all? And who paid for it? The visuals of this destroyed terror center inside Pakistan are important because some bright individuals within India had even questioned whether the Bahawalpur strike by the Indian forces had actually inflicted any damage. Now, 15 months later, fresh visuals and intelligence inputs indicate that the damage was very real. And so is the reconstruction. On May 7th, 2025, India launched Operation Sindoor. Days after the Pahalgam terror attack killed 26 people in Kashmir. Among the most significant targets was the Markaz Subhanallah complex in Bahawalpur, a facility long associated with Jaish-e-Mohammed, the Pak-based terror organization led by Masood Azhar. The target was not some remote launch pad along the line of control. Bahawalpur is deep inside Pakistan's Punjab province. The complex had been identified as a major ideological and operational center for Jaish-e-Mohammed. And the Indian strikes caused extensive damage. Contemporary imagery showed the facility reduced to rubble, with major sections of the complex destroyed. Satellite imagery reviewed after the strikes also showed significant structural damage. Reuters reported that the Bahawalpur strike destroyed a Jaish-e-Mohammed linked seminary and killed 13 people, including members of Masood Azhar's family. But there was a problem. The battle did not end with the missiles. It moved to the information space, or the narrative war as we know it now. In the aftermath of Operation Sindoor, there was considerable skepticism, including in India, over the extent of damage inflicted on the Bahawalpur facility. Was the headquarters actually destroyed? Was the strike as precise and devastating as claimed? Or had India simply hit an empty or less important portion of the complex? Now, those questions were fueled by the absence of sustained independent access to the site and, of course, the fog of war surrounding the operation. But now the irony is striking. The strongest evidence that the complex was badly damaged may be coming from the rebuilding itself, because you don't spend months repairing something that was not seriously damaged. And the latest visuals show exactly what happened next. The latest imagery shows that the Markaz Subhanallah complex has undergone extensive reconstruction. Blast-damaged portions of the central hall have been repaired, craters have been filled, structural sections have been restored, the domes have been rebuilt, walls have been plastered and painted, and marble work has been completed. In other words, much of the visual evidence of the original strike is now being covered up by a completely refurbished complex, and this isn't simply cosmetic repair. According to intelligence inputs cited by multiple reports, the Pakistani establishment allegedly provided 250 million rupees to Jaish-e-Mohammed in cash installments. Of this, around 110 million Pakistani rupees was reportedly earmarked for rebuilding just the central hall. These intelligence inputs point to something far more serious than Pakistan merely turning a blind eye to a terrorist organization. They point towards financial or active financial support for the restoration of terror infrastructure. Because Markaz Subhanallah has long been associated, as I said earlier, with Jaish-e-Mohammed, an organization designated as a terrorist group by the United Nations and the United States. Founded by terrorist Masood Azhar, the site was actively used for recruitment, for fundraising, and of course for indoctrination. The money trail could be even more revealing than the reconstruction itself. According to intelligence inputs cited in this case, apart from the 250 million rupees funneled through the Pakistani establishment towards the rebuilding of this complex, another 3.1 billion was raised reportedly through crowdfunding. And the alleged financial ecosystem doesn't stop at cash. Digital wallets, cryptocurrencies are also being cited as mechanisms that can be misused to move money beyond conventional banking channels. So if these financial links can be independently established, this gives India an important opportunity, not merely to expose Pakistan's continued support for terror, but to work with the FATA for the Financial Action Task Force and the UN to build an irrefutable case around terror financing and Pakistan's state complicity. Because ultimately, Bahawalpur is not just about a rebuilt building. It is about who helped a designated terror organization to rise again from the rubble. You're watching Times Access. I'm Aditi Prasad. Click on the bell icon below to like and subscribe to the channel and never miss a Times Access update.
They had a nuclear weapon.
The old rules are breaking. Alliances are shifting.
Apologize again to the victims of the paedophile Jeffrey Epstein.
Wars are redrawing maps. Oil routes can shake economies overnight. One election in America can impact markets in Mumbai.
No tax on tips.
One move by China can alter the balance in Asia. One conflict in West Asia can hit every Indian household. This is no longer a distant story. This is our story. Your story. Because for the first time in decades, India is not watching from the sidelines. India is rising. India is negotiating. India is balancing rivals. India is building military strength. India is shaping trade routes. India is becoming central to the new global order. And yet, most global news is still told through someone else's lens. Washington's lens. Beijing's lens. London's lens. But where is India's lens? Where is the platform that explains the world from our perspective? Welcome to India's Axis, a new destination for geopolitics, strategy and power seen through India's eyes, from Neighborhood Watch to the biggest global stories that matter to you. Why tensions in the Taiwan Strait matter to India, how one move by China can affect India's security, what turmoil in Pakistan means for regional stability, how Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, Nepal, and Bhutan shape India's neighborhood, why oil choke points can hit your wallet, how wars abroad can reshape India's security. This is not noise. This is not shouting. This is not recycled headlines. This is sharp, intelligent storytelling, daily explainers, war room analysis, strategic conversations, because news is everywhere. But perspective is rare, and in the age of confusion, clarity is power. Axis is for the audience that wants more than headlines. The axis of global power is shifting. India is at the center of that shift. It's time the world was explained accordingly, to understand the world through India's strategic lens. Subscribe now.